We will tell you the story of the Prophet Ayoub's wife, and who she is. It is said that her name is Leah or Rahma, the daughter of Ephraim, the son of the Prophet Yusuf, the son of the Prophet Yacob, the son of the Prophet Ishaq, peace be upon them. She is the granddaughter of the Prophet Yusuf, and she had a beautiful face, and long yellow hair, and she had 2 beautiful braids, and she was the faithful and pious wife, and she had many slaves and servants. And despite the intensity of her wealth, and the abundance of Allah's blessings on her, she was not arrogant, and she always thanked Allah for his blessings. And here, we begin with her story with her husband, the Prophet Ayoub. Ayoub was a man with a lot of money. He had livestock, animals, slaves, vast lands, and abundant wealth. He was living in el-sham. He married Mrs. Rahma, and Allah blessed them with many children, boys and girls. The Prophet Ayoub was pious and merciful, and kind to the poor, widows and orphans. And he did not eat food except with them. And Allah wanted the Prophet Ayoub to be tested in his faith. So Allah brought calamity upon him. And the first thing that came down on him was the loss of his money, and the dryness of his land, where the crops burned and the livestock died. And Ayoub was patient and thankful, prostrate to Allah. Then all of Ayoub's children died. So he praised Allah and prostrated to him. Then he fell ill. Nevertheless, his faith and patience increased. And the years passed on Ayoub. The disease became severe, and he did not get up from his bed. And his friends leave him. And only his kind wife stood next to him, and 2 of his friends, and Rahma or Leah, the patient wife, worked in the service of people in the homes, to provide food for the Prophet Ayoub. But they were afraid that the disease would spread to them, so they refused to continue working for them. Lady Rahma's braids were known for her beauty among the rich, so she sold her braids to provide food for the Prophet Ayoub. The Prophet Muhammad says that the Prophet of Allah, Ayoub, remained in his affliction for 18 years. And Ayoub heard from 2 of his friends saying one to the other, Ayoub committed a sin that no one has sinned. So Allah did not reveal his illness. Ayoub was very sad, and his wife was asking him to pray to Allah to heal him. But he was saying to her, I have lived 70 years of my life in bliss and grace from Allah, and I have been sick for 18 years. And if I got sick like them at that time, I ask Allah. And when Ayoub learned that his wife had sold her braids to provide him with food, he grieved greatly. So he prayed to Allah, Allah, that I had been touched by illness, and you are the most merciful of those who have mercy. And Allah revealed to him that he should strike his foot, and water would erupt from the ground, and he would bathe with it and drink from it. So the Prophet Ayoub bathed with water and drank from it, as Allah commanded him. So Allah cured him of his illness. So when his wife saw him, she did not know him. He told her that he is the Prophet Ayoub. When she knew him, she started crying and thanking Allah. It is said that Ayoub asked his wife to wash herself with the water. So she washed from it. So she regained her health and youth. And after that she bore him twice the number of his children who died. And Allah granted him double what he had of money. So he became a reward for his patience. Thus, Rahma was the patient and faithful combatant wife, who stood by her husband faithfully, relieves him of the nation, and serves him, and praises Allah with him. Allah gave her and her husband money and children, and lived a happy life.